Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'll be covering a really special issue, a really special comic that everyone knows about, everyone talks about in the back issue markets. The Incredible Hulk 181, published by Marvel Comics. This show I will not be actually using the Incredible Hulk 181 facsimile edition, which I just picked up today at Phantom of the Attic here in Pittsburgh. It is New Comics Day, Wednesday, July the 12th, 2023. And so I picked this up, very excited, glad to have it. It's got a great reproduction value to it, all the ads, everything else, but it's got slick paper. And I'm not the biggest fan of slick paper. DC, I feel like, does their facsimile editions better. Number one, they don't include this UPC symbol on the cover. Most of the times it's on the back cover. And they don't use slick paper. I also picked up this insanely cool foil edition because I am a lover of this story with great passion, and so I had to have this one too, so I picked that up as well. But I won't be reading this one today either, so I'm going to put those aside. Nor will I be reading my own copy of Hulk 181, which I acquired through Phantom of the Attic earlier this year. Thank you, Jeff, for helping me get this white whale of a book. Now, it is coverless. Front and back cover is missing. However, it is in very nice shape. The Marvel Values stamp is intact. It's a beautiful coverless copy of Hulk 181, and it is a treasure of my collection. And I will not actually be using this one today either. I also will not be using the really cool Baxter reprint of Hulk 181 that came out in 1986 from Marvel Comics with the cool John Byrne wraparound cover. I won't be using this one either. I also won't be using the slightly less cool square-bound 1989 reprint of Hulk 181 called on this cover, Wolverine Battles the Incredible Hulk, with sort of a dodgy square-bound binding, which these bindings have a tendency to fail on repeated readings. I won't be looking at this one either, even though these two reprints, both of them, have really cool Baxter paper inside, and I love Baxter paper. I also won't be using my copy of Marvel Masterworks, which I got some years ago and treasure and love, and often will go back and read through it. It also, of course, reprints Hulk 181, with slick paper, unfortunately, but it's still a really nice reprint. And who can argue with this packaging of Marvel Masterworks? Totally awesome. Really great for the collector. All those great stories in one volume. Nor will I be using my Incredible Hulk Epic Collection and now the Wolverine. This is volume 7, and it too, early on, reprints Hulk 181. This time on slightly less slick paper, which I kind of like. Again, I'm not going to be doing that one either. I have settled on, for this episode, using my Outlaw reprint copy of Hulk 181, essentially a facsimile edition, but as you'll notice, with everything completely intact, acquired on eBay from a Brazilian seller who shall remain nameless. Pretty awesome. I love this thing. I treasure it. It was not cheap. It was nowhere near what it would cost to get an actual copy of 181. And one of the coolest things about it is it doesn't have slick paper. It looks like it was sort of reproduced from an original newsprint copy and pretty faithfully reproduced. And it's totally awesome. I would get another one if I saw it. I've been watching on eBay and I haven't seen him put anything up recently. He did some other outlaw facsimile editions as well. But yeah, I would never part with this baby. I love it, and I'm going to share it with you here today. So, enough preamble. Hulk 181, published, I neglected to check here, in 1974 by Marvel Comics at a cover price of 25 cents. He's here, the world's first and greatest Canadian superhero, and now the Wolverine. And the survivor of their epic battle must face the Wendigo, or Wendigo, if you will. Now, many collectors have argued over the years that Hulk 180 is actually the first appearance of Wolverine, but really the market has decided that this is the first full appearance of Wolverine. This is the one that people seek the most ardently. It's frankly worth the most. But this 180 has this immortal panel here as Hulk and Wendigo are slugging it out. They're interrupted. All right, you freaks, just hold it, huh? If you really want to tangle with someone, why not try your luck against the Wolverine? Well, now you know who Weapon X is, faithful one. He's a living, raging powerhouse who's bound to knock you back on your emerald posterior. Better be here next time, Marvelites, since the Wolverine strikes but once. But in his case, once is plenty. So that's a pretty awesome cliffhanger to leave fans in 1974 on. And then they get this issue on the rack, and now the Wolverine. Instant recap department. Old Greenskin has been lured to Quebec, Canada as part of a fantastic plan to cure the wild-eyed wood beast called the Wendigo. But where the Emerald Man Brood is concerned, nothing is predictable. So instead of curing Wendy, the Hulk is embroiled in battle with him. A battle that rages through the forest until this gaudily garbed gentleman intrudes upon the scene, claws bared, teeth clenched, his face awash with almost feral fury. If you freaks want to tangle with someone, why not try your luck against me? So, Wolverine, designed in part by John Romita and realized here in his first full story on the page by Herb Trimpe. Totally awesome, visually stunning and new. And let's get into a little more here. With astonishing speed, the snarling Wolverine hurtles forward, his very momentum scattering the two massive monsters who loom before him. Heads up, Harrys. The Wolverine is coming through. Huh? Little man attacks Hulk? That's about the size of it, Sonny. The government sent me to take care of you, Hulk. And I'm a gent who always does his job. Stand still, little man, or Hulk will smash. Sorry, Hulk, but seeing as how you're about 2 feet taller than I am, and how you outweigh me by about 100 stone, I'll just keep moving if you please, because moving is the thing I do best. Great depiction of the action here, showing Wolverine's incredible agility compared to the Hulk, his lumbering power. Wolverine has no luck against the Hulk's emerald hide, so instead he tries his luck on the Wendigo, and with somewhat better results. Startled by the sudden savage slashing, the Wendigo takes a single half-step backward, and the Wolverine is quick to press his advantage. Wendigo! So that's your name now, is it? Back at the base, they said that you were only a legend, that you didn't exist. Well, when I'm done with you, Shaggy, you won't. So now Hulk thinks that because Wolverine is suddenly fighting his erstwhile sparring partner, the Wendigo, that Wolverine is his friend. And we'll see what happens, continued after next page. And you can see all the ads faithfully reproduced in here, just like a true facsimile edition from Marvel, except, again, leave our 25% price tag and our sort of faux newsprint reproduction value, which I just love. The most awesomely powerful leg muscles on Earth propel the green behemoth across the glade to plow with staggering impact into his shaggy foe. Hulk has come, little friend, to help you beat Wendigo. Wendigo. Ugh. Wendigo is strong, but Hulk and Hulk's friend are stronger. Hulk and Hulk's friend will smash Wendigo. So Wolverine picks up on this. He's going to use it to his advantage for an alliance of convenience. And he piles on. Quickly, my friend Hulk. While I've got the Wendigo distracted, attack him. Ha! Is good plan, friend. Hulk will do as you say. But first, little friend must go away from Wendigo. Because what Hulk does now, only Hulk can do. And so Hulk totally sends Wendigo hurling into these giant trees, shattering the trees. And Wendigo is so supernaturally tough that he's still up. But the Hulk did his best, but it just wasn't good enough. So it's up to me to finish this little Donnybrook fast. With the savage ferocity of the creature for which he is named, the Wolverine hurls himself upon the furry nightmare. There is a shrill hissing as his adamantium talons flash through the air as a sickening thwack as they strike. This is just a tremendous panel. Can't say enough about our creative crew here. And I was so excited to start the story, I forgot to give them proper credit. So let's quickly revisit our credits. Len Wein, writer, and Herb Trimpe, artist. Jack Abel, inker. Glynis Wein, colorist. Artie Simic, letterer. Roy Thomas, editor. So Jack Abel does not get enough credit as a fantastic inker in this Silver Age of Marvel history. And he was really great on Trimpe's pencils in this issue. Love this Monsters ad here, really cool. All right, back to our story. And when the Wolverine rises, he rises alone. Ha! Little friend did good. You smashed ugly Wendigo once, and now Wendigo is dead. He should be, Hulk, but he's not. Apparently, the Wendigo is as immortal as the legends say. My talons only rendered him unconscious. So then we have this uneasy moment where Hulk and Wolverine are kind of trying to figure out what's going to happen next. And Wolverine breaks the alliance with an attack. All right, Greenskin, it's your turn to take a thrashing, huh? Puny little man, Hulk thought you were Hulk's friend. Hulk trusted you, but you betrayed Hulk, attacked Hulk, just like all the other puny humans Hulk has known. Little man made a fool of Hulk. And for that, Hulk will smash. You'll have to catch me first, ugly, and nobody is fast enough to do that. So Wolverine's just barely staying ahead of the Hulk's attacks. Meanwhile, Marie, the would-be sorceress who lured the Hulk into the woods of Canada so that she could switch the curse, she and her friend are dragging, his name's Georges, are dragging the Wendigo away from the battle so they can set up this ritual where they transfer the curse onto the Hulk. Outside, the jade-hued juggernaut fights on, unaware of the terrible fate the maniacally obsessed girl has planned for him, unaware of the cold and crimson splendor spread across his battlefield by the swiftly rising sun. A sun also rising behind a secret Canadian military complex, nestled deep in the sheltering hills not too very far away. So they want an update on Weapon X. Any word from Weapon X as yet, Matthews? Not at the moment, sir. Aerial reconnaissance reports that he's entered the target zone. But so far we've heard nothing. Do you think we did the right thing, sir? I mean, sending him into active combat like that, alone. We wouldn't have sent him if we didn't think he was ready, Holdridge. The government has spent a great deal of time, effort, and money developing that mutant's natural-born speed, strength, and savagery into the skills of a professional warrior. And despite the few kinks still remaining in his psychological makeup, I think we've done a pretty good job. So they're already hinting at Wolverine's origin here, and it's really tantalizing. I could just imagine being a kid in 1974 and getting this and just wondering, like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? And they give you just little tidbits. But they're already developing a contingency plan in case he fails. And that unnamed officer may speak more truly than even he knows. For back at the battle site, blast you, Greenskin, no one could be that strong. Why in blazes don't you fall? Strong, bah! Puny little man, Hulk will show you strong. See how easy Hulk lifts big rock. rock that will smash you with. Yes, Hulk, I see. But in a second, all that you'll see are a lot of little stars. Great action here as he bowls into the Hulk, causing the rock that he was hefting to actually fall on him and shatter. And a great sequence here of storytelling. As in the background of this panel, their fight continues. And in the foreground, we see Marie getting ready to enact her ritual. And George warns her, Marie, don't do this. As your brother's best friend, I beseech you. As my brother's best friend, you'll do exactly as I say, since it's your fault he became the Wendigo in the first place. As explained in detail, last issue and way back in Hulk 162. That was Wendigo's first appearance, Hulk 162. So Marie causes the ritual to begin with some strange elixirs, which actually renders the Hulk and Wolverine unconscious. You see, George, I told you everything would work out in the end, didn't I? Unfortunately, Marie, everything is not ended. Not yet. But it soon will be, George, if you'll help me bring the brute inside so we can start. But they don't reckon on her spell causing Hulk to transform back into Bruce Banner, which gives them some real second thoughts. This makes no difference, George. We can still know, Marie, this is the end of it. It's bad enough to do what you plan to a simple mindless monster, but to do it to a man? Never. I'm sorry, Marie, but I'm through with this madness. But you can't be, George. You owe a debt to my brother, to me. Perhaps I did, Marie, but you take into account the price I've paid with my immortal soul for our atrocities, and the debt has been more than repaid in full. George, no, come back. And great to see the letter page reprinted in this volume as well. Again, this is the complete Hulk 181 in an Outlaw reprint edition. Let's just quickly see if we have any... Oh, here's a great letter from Mary Jo Duffy, who would become an editor and comic writer. I'll just read her last paragraph. As for the Hulk himself, old Greenskin is too strong and satisfying a comics character to do anything but let this one fiasco roll off his back. So keep on trucking. So she's referring back to the crazy crucifixion story with Warlock on Counter-Earth from a few issues back. And so they're joking about the disparate reactions to the issue. And there's the oft-mentioned Marvel value stamp that sadly has been cut out from so many extant copies of Hulk 181. I just love this old Marvel iconography and the bullpen bulletins. Totally awesome. So George, racked with guilt about what he's done, makes a fateful decision and stalks into the main ritual area where they had all their potions and everything. Meanwhile, back at the battle-torn clearing, Marie Cartier's thoughts are open for anybody to know. Go ahead, George, desert me. I don't need you. I don't need anyone. I'll complete the rite of transformation alone. You'll see. Once I drag this sacrifice inside, I'll take care of everything. Don't worry, Paul, darling. I'll save you. But suddenly, Banner transforms back into the Hulk. Animal Girl tricked Hulk, knocked Hulk out. Hulk thought you were Hulk's friend, but Animal Girl is just another puny human. No, Hulk, I am your friend. I am. Bah! Animal Girl lies. Hulk will smash. Screaming in abject terror at the threat, the fur-clad girl is naturally started when the green Goliath lumbers right past her, bearing down instead on a swiftly reviving Wolverine. You are the only one Hulk truly hates. Then you must give me a few more seconds to burst these chains and Ha! Little men cannot break puny chains. Then Hulk will break little man's chains, and little man with them. I love the scale difference here in this incredibly exaggeratedly thick Hulk hefting Wolverine. Really cool. With bone-shattering force, the Emerald Man Brute smashes the Wolverine to earth, a move that only serves to sunder the pint-sized Fury's already weakened bonds. And then their fight starts again. This time, Greenskin, I'm going to finish you. Little wonder that nobody notices Marie Cartier racing desperately from the glade. And she runs headlong into the Wendigo, but it's not the Wendigo that she remembers. Oh no, no! Marie screams, slices the morning air like the stroke of a finely honed razor. For in an instant, the two combatants ceased their violent battle. What in Hades was that? But for only an instant, for despite its many flaws, the great green Goliath's mind generally runs on one track. Oh, love this Shang-Chi and Iron Fist. Back to our story. And once having begun, something old Greenskin doesn't like to stop until he's finished it. Give the Wolverine credit. He senses what's coming, then snaps his head aside with such speed that the blow is only a glancing one. Bwak! Ugh. And that's probably that, plus his astonishing stamina, that saves his life. For by rights, even a glancing blow from fists that can shatter mountains should be fatal. Little man tried to trick Hulk, but Hulk was smarter, Hulk was stronger, and that is why Hulk won. So here, she initially doesn't realize what's happened. So she thinks she's talking to her brother. I don't understand, Paul. What are you trying to tell me? What's happened? And Wendigo gestures inside, and she goes in and sees her brother now freed from the curse and realizes that it's actually George who's now the Wendigo. And here we get one of the few times the Wendigo actually speaks before the curse completely takes him. Why, George? Why did you do it? You don't understand, Marie. Perhaps you never will. But I did not do this because I owed a debt. I did it because I loved you. And then he bursts off into the wilderness. George, please come back. Come back. So, in the aftermath, Wendigo runs away. Wolverine is still knocked unconscious, and Hulk approaches Marie Cartier, who is in a terrible state. She stares blankly at her rapidly reviving brother, at the unintentional cause of all this, and she does not even feel the heavy emerald hand laid ever so gently upon her shoulder. He is a simple creature, this incredible Hulk. There is so much he doesn't understand. But grief, despair, these are emotions he can recognize, and in his own clumsy way, try to soothe. So they stand together, the monster and the girl, both the victims of circumstances they could not hope to control, and both of them so terribly, terribly alone. And then next, can even the Hulk survive being caught between hammer and anvil? So what an amazing issue. It's often overlooked by just the fact that this is the first appearance of Wolverine, how great the actual story was that goes along with this two-part tale, Hulk 180 and 181. And Roy Thomas just absolutely crushed it. Or I should say Len Wein just absolutely crushed it. Roy was the editor. So what an amazing read. I'm glad you joined me for it. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. And I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.